Good morning, good morning. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Jennifer. Happy Friday. We made it to Friday, you guys. What a week this has been. So, cheers to all. Get your cuppa and come on in and let's fill it up with some love this morning. I wanted to see who all's watching. Leanna Sweet, hello. Sally and Tony are watching. And our Jennifer's here. Good morning, good morning. I hope you all had a blessed night's rest. I tell you, the cats let me down last night. They usually wake me up through the night, and um, last night I slept so soundly. I guess I must have really needed that sleep because I woke up this morning and I'm going, what day is this? I didn't even remember going to sleep, but it's okay because they were right there as soon as I started moving around. Do you have a little one or a furry one that wakes you up? I love Blue's babies because when I was staying with her, when Auntie Jean and I were visiting, the doggies would run up the stairs and lick us all over the face, and that was our alarm clock. So I love having a fur baby wake me up. Julie Kiss, good morning. Hi, Deirdre. Does your thump wake you up, Deirdre? And Hope, good morning. Kathy Hand, Linda Lemieux, hello everybody. Thank you for coming in and cheers to everyone. Let's do some heart brain. Hand on your heart and slow down the breathing. And then add in the love. Hold somebody in your heart like they were right there with you. And you can put your arms around them and give them a big hug. And put a smile on your face. This is the heart brain coherence that we do every morning. And when we do it, it sends a message up to our brain that, hey, this is a good day. This is a great day. This is a beautiful day. When we wake up with that mindset, it follows us throughout the whole day. So whatever you start out with, whatever perspective, then that's what it's going to bring throughout the day. So I love to just wake up and say that line first thing in the morning. Thank you, God, for a new day. It's a great day to have a great day. And one of these days, I am going to be in a place where I can write that on the ceiling. I really want to do that. All right, so Thump waits for you. Well, good kitty. Yeah, mine used to. When I had Tazzy and Gizmo, they would wait for me to move, and then they would start in with the meowing. But these little guys that I'm house sitting and pet sitting right now, they come in usually around 2 o'clock in the morning after they're done with their wanderings outside, and then they want to let me know that they're there. I guess it's like, hey, I'm okay, I'm safe, you can go back to sleep now. I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. And Sally, you have a big one who rolls over us like a freight train in the middle of the night. Yep, been there, done that as well. And Kathy, my brother Joe just went into surgery. Prayers for successful removal of all cancerous tissue. We certainly will. He's on our big Peapod prayer list. And let's remember Joe Ketterer this morning as he's going through surgery and ask Archangel Raphael to guide that surgeon's hands. Thank you. Annie Seven, good morning, sweetie. Good morning, Grayson. It's another rainy day, Annie. I woke up to the sound of rain and I'm going, no. Can we have a little bit of a break from this rain? I feel like we're going to float away here in New Orleans. Auntie Jean, not Auntie Jean, Blue Jean, good morning. You're a sandpaper person. Oh no. You're not to me, darling. You are such a dear friend, and I love you so, so much. And I was encouraged by your message this morning that Gizmo was showing some signs of responding to the medication. So we keep him lifted in our prayers for whatever is for his best and highest good. Good morning, Prachetta and Prachir and Goofy. Hello, hello, everyone. So glad you're here. What's your yays today? You know we like to lift each other up, right? That's one of our purposes for being on this planet, is to help lift each other. So share your yays. Let me know what you're grateful for. If you have any wins in your life, um, what's happening? What's going on? And Blue says, Gizzy is doing okay. Let's see what happens today. He slept in his kitty bed next to me. Gruff and Pocket Gazurber last night. Well, good. I know Gruffy's taken really good care of that kitty cat. And Gene, he picked the most perfect home to be in. You and Dave are amazing cat parents to him. Um, Sally says it's rainy there and in the low 60s, but into the 90s in a couple of days again. Michigan needs an attitude adjustment. Well, you need to have a talk with Mother Nature. She doesn't even know what day it is, I don't think. It's like cold in one day and hot in another. It's like, well, what? Our heads are spinning. We can't keep up with our Mother Nature right now. She's all over the place. Good morning, Brookie and Dylan and sweet baby Max. Is Linda here? I thought I saw Linda Lemieux come into the live. Linda, let me know if you're here. Deirdre needs you. And Brookie says, I'm so excited for Dylan's big surprise tonight. Dylan's getting a surprise? I want to know. I know you can't tell us right now, but you can tell me later. And Jennifer says, my yay is I'm here with the peas. That's a big yay. I love it when you're here. And Linda's on it, Deirdre. She's working on your paperwork that needs to be found. Brookie says it's his birthday on Sunday and his family will be arriving late tonight until Monday. Yay! That's awesome. I'm sure that's going to make him very happy. Good morning, Josie. And somebody call in, our pirate, Rick. I was thinking about him this morning. I was on Instagram and I saw a post from Tiffany, who uh, was one of the owners of Love and Light in Fort Lauderdale. And Ricky always hung out there. It was one of his favorite places to be, I think. He just was such a delight. When you walked through that front door, you always saw Rick with a big smile on his face. So I know he's smiling right now. And he just reminded me that he's still around. And Kathy says, Gene is dealing with a man that needs more like a chisel and hammer than sandpaper. Yeah, there's some stubborn people in this world, including myself. I add me in there. All right, so let's see. Do we want to know what the angel said last night? I think it was an encouraging message and one that um, we could use some discussion on. So yeah, let me get to the message. And Blue says, well, he wanted to see you again. I will never forget you half asleep, stopping in mid-stride and saying, Gizmo. And he was standing next to you and said, Rawr? Asked Brookie Woodside. He was terrified of outsiders. Yeah, Gizzy is, he has the same soul of my Gizmo. They're just one and the same. And when I saw Gizmo at Jean's house, I just knew I was seeing my Gizmo again. And it just felt, you can tell, I just felt his energy. And when I looked into his eyes, yeah, it was Gizmo. And I just love that little guy so much. So hopefully I'll be able to see him again. I told him I want to when I come up in October. So let's see what happens. And Josie, you don't have to be sorry. We're just glad you're here right now. And I'm so sorry that you've been sick, but I'm glad you're starting to feel better. So thank you for being here with us today. And And let's call in that pirate. Come on, you guys, you know what to do. Call in our pirate Rick with an ARG. So the angels' message is make this world a better place. I believe we are here on the planet Earth to live, grow up, and do what we can to make this world a better place for all people to enjoy freedom. That's a quote from Rosa Parks. When we embrace our journey, we realize that it is not just about personal growth as a human and a spiritual being, but also about uplifting others. We are called to use our talents, our love, and our compassion to create a world where every soul can experience true freedom. The angels remind us that freedom begins within. It's a state of being, a consciousness that recognizes the divinity in all of us. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, and every moment of understanding contributes to this mission of making the world a better place. The angels stand by our side, cheering us on as we break free from fear, limitations, and anything that holds us back. They lovingly guide us to see that when we help one another, we are fulfilling our highest purpose. I grew up in a small town, and I felt free to be outside without worrying about stranger danger. The crimes were more like public intoxication, although it was a dry county, if you know what that means. Honestly, I felt safer being outside than inside, but that's another story. It's a different world now where children need our protection and have to be taught to be vigilant when they are outside. This fear energy has permeated our youth, and we are seeing a generation with extreme trust issues. Dear angels, in each moment we have the opportunity to make choices that reflect the love we are made of, to take actions that ripple outward, touching lives and hearts in ways we may never fully see. Thank you for being our allies in this mission as you protect us every moment. Help us to stand up for what is right, to nurture the earth, and to be stewards of a future where every soul can thrive in freedom and joy. Dear ones, let us remind you that your presence on earth is no accident. You are meant to shine your light, to spread kindness, and to actively participate in creating a world where freedom and peace are available to all. We encourage you to embrace this sacred duty with grace, knowing that as you work to make the world a better place, you are fulfilling the divine plan laid out for you. It is possible to create a world where love reigns and where every being can experience the true freedom that comes from living in harmony with one another. This calls for action on your part. Search your hearts and see if you're adding to the problem or working toward a solution. Throughout time, the teaching of ethics of reciprocity has been passed along. You may recognize it as the scripture teaching of do unto others as you want to be treated by them, or this teaching from the Buddha, whatever is disagreeable to yourself, do not do unto others. We leave you with these wise words spoken by the Dalai Lama. You must help others. If not, you should not harm others. Dear angels, today I promise to do my best to lift up my fellow humans and to do no harm as I traverse this earth plane. You know, I loved this message so much from the angels. I just observe what's going on with our youth, our young people today, young adults, and there is that underlying fear of what could happen, the stranger dangers, the all the abductions and the child trafficking and everything that's happening in our world. It didn't used to be this way. When I grew up, we played outside until after dark. And when we were called in, we were yelled in, not telephone call because we didn't have cell phones back then. So we had to listen for our mom or older sister or whoever to yell out for us to come inside because it was getting dark out. So there was no fear that we could go out and play. There was no fear of drinking from the water hose or anything that might harm us just because we were kids playing outside. It's a different world now, and our kids have this instilled in them now that we have to be wary. We have to look out and look around and make sure that we're being safe at all times. So I feel for our youth of these days. I feel for those who grew up as latchkey kids. Anybody know what that means? The latchkey kids was a real thing when I was in school, and especially in high school. There were people with both parents working, and so they went home and let themselves in the door and were alone until the parents got home. But it's such a different world now. Deirdre, your dad whistled you in. Yeah, it was that. It was simple. It was a simple time. And I just love the words of the Dalai Lama. I love that when they brought that to mind. Let me just read his words again. You must help others. If not, you should not harm others. If we all just lived our life with that philosophy of do no harm, wouldn't it be such a great world to live in if we really understood that? And I will never understand the people that abduct children or that do harm to other beings just because they can. And I will never get it. Kathleen Caputo, good morning, sweet one. It was so good to see you yesterday. And Sally says, I saw my young friend who is a sex trafficking survivor. She is doing good and finally getting healthier. She looked happy. I would love to connect with her, Sally, if you would give her my information. I would just love to sit and chat with her and get her viewpoint. And Blue says, Mrs. Williams had an old school bell. When she rang it, you could hear it for a mile. That is when we all knew it was time to go home. Yes, yes, indeed. We had those simple ways of being called in, and our parents knew where we were at all times. There wasn't a lot of homelessness when I was growing up. I never saw that until later on in my adult life, that there were people that actually lived on the streets. So, yeah, it was such a different time. Thank you, Sally. Kathy says, our curfew was the street light, and my dad also whistled. Yeah, for us, it was my mom, I think, that usually called out because my dad had a rough life and he worked in the coal mines. And so when he got home from work, he just wanted some food in his belly and go to sleep. And that was it. So our job was to be quiet. And that's why most of the time we were outdoors. We, um, we stayed out because we could laugh outside, we could play outside, we could uh, be loud without getting in trouble if we were outside the house. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you for the reminiscing about the simpler times of life. And I know we've got some younger people that participate here, and I just would love to hear from people like maybe Brookie or some of the other young ones that experience the stranger danger and being taught, don't talk to that stranger, don't talk to that person you don't know because you don't know what might happen, right? And I remember the first time that I was actually aware of stranger danger was way back when, oh gosh, now I can't remember his name, but there was a child that was abducted in Miami and never found. And yeah, that was when I think it really started to come out of, hey, we need to keep an eye on our kids and make sure that we can see them at all times when we're out and about. Okay, so what does Kuan Yin have to say about this? She says, your path is before you now. Even if you sometimes lack confidence to trust in the path that you are upon, know this: you cannot miss your destiny. I shall guide your feet and inspire your heart to keep you true to your rightful divine life path. Trust me, trust yourself, and trust your journey now. There we go. That T word that I know many people have an issue with, and why am I hearing noise? That was interesting. All of a sudden, I'm hearing noise, and I don't have anything on. So I guess it was the ghost confirming what I just said. This is a very active house. If Auntie Jean was on here, she'd tell you. Yeah, she's experienced it as well. And it's so interesting sometimes to just be sitting here and watch energy go by. But yeah, that was strange. Somehow there was music or some kind of energy playing. Maybe it was our pirate that wanted to come by and say hello. That's what I'm thinking. He's so happy that his Josie is on with us this morning. So I would love to hear more thoughts, what you think about the message, and that golden rule. We were always just taught that that was the way to live as I was growing up. It was like you don't do something to somebody else that you wouldn't want them to do to you. And when you stop and think about it, I mean, common sense, right? If I'm going to strike somebody, do I want them doing that to me? So just stop and think about our actions, think about our words and how we treat others. And Brookie says, I feel so fortunate to have been born and raised in the safe little town of Muncie. We really didn't have much for stranger danger and walked to and from school at pretty young ages. I loved that freedom and would pick all the beautiful flowers from people's front yards for my mama on my way home. Oh, I bet Debbie loved that. I can just see her face when you brought her that little bouquet of flowers that you picked. What a delight. And yeah, I think there's a lot of energy in here right now. I'm just like seeing people filling in, sitting down in chairs to participate and listen in. Flybys. Yeah, I know, right, Jean? It happens a lot. And especially when we open ourselves to it, you know, energy never dies. Energy just shifts and transforms. And that's how we're able to feel those in spirit, those who just want to hang out with us. They come to the light. And when they see a light shining, and especially if they see their loved ones that are a part of that light, they're going to come, they're going to participate if we allow it. And I always allow it. I always make the stipulation, though, that only love and light is welcome here where I am. And you can do that as well. That's the way to cover yourself. If you have visitors from the other side, just say only love and light. If you want to come in and love on me, great, welcome. If you want to share messages, welcome. But only love and light can come into where I am. And Sally says, I feel like I'm coming out of the trust lessons finally. My last part is trusting myself. Oh, that is such a biggie, isn't it? Sometimes we can trust others before we trust ourselves. But learning that lesson, I'm so grateful. I'm so very grateful. I used to curse it, like not trust again. Come on. And the angels just kept chipping away. They just helped me over and over and over again to understand more about trusting myself and trusting my journey and trusting the angels, trusting that the messages that I heard from them was real, and showing me confirmations, showing me the signs. And I know that you all get signs. We've talked about that many times, but that's how they give confirmation. It's like, here you go. I'm going to show you this. And I can sometimes think something, I have a thought that comes through, and then all of a sudden, there I see it on a license plate or a billboard or whatever it might be. So this is how they communicate, and this is how our loved ones also give us confirmation that they're nearby. They'll show us something. And Kathleen has spirits there who push things on the floor to get my attention. One did that last night while we were on the Think and Grow Abundant workshop. The workshop was really great. Oh my gosh, I'm still floating from it, Kathleen, and I just converted the recording. So those of you who are in the class, I'll be sending that out to you today. Yeah, it was awesome to see our peas gathered together and learning and growing together. And Blue says, so lucky for my spiritual watchdog Gruffy. She does not like it when spirit comes without asking her permission. That was my gizmo. He was the one that would stand up in the middle of the bed and look at the wall and stare whatever was there. He would stare it down. He would follow it around the room. And I'm like, Gizzy, who's here? Because sometimes my dog Allie would come to visit. She loved to play with the cats. And so she would come streaking through the house and chase Gizmo all over the place. That was fun to watch. Not so fun for Gizmo, I think, but it was fun for me to watch it. Brookie was lucky when I ventured off in Venice Beach at like 5 years old. I climbed up on the bleachers and was watching all the muscle men on the beach. Had a good view of my folks as they scurried around looking for me before they spotted me up on those bleachers. Max is such an awesome people person, and I love how he says hi and lights everyone up. Definitely keeping a close watch on this little adventurer. Oh, yes, you better. You better keep that watchful eye on him because I just can feel his energy. He loves, and you've taught him that. You've taught him to just be free, and I love it. And I can see you up on those bleachers, Brookie. I can just see that happening. Yeah, it's a scary thing when, as a parent, you're out and you can't spot your child, and especially in today's world. It used to be like, oh, she must be up on the side of the mountain where she always goes, and we're not going to worry about her. That's how it was with me. I was always out talking to the angels somewhere, either up on the mountainside or down by the river or whatever, wherever they sat with me, that's where I would go. But I would always hear that yell to come in. It's time to come in now. Um, an air tag, air tag on Pterodactyl Man. That might be a good idea. And Blue says, yes, he and his siblings do that. They watch spirit. Yeah, all animals can see spirit so clearly. And we can take our message from them that, hey, there's something here if we don't feel it. Usually the hairs race up on my arms if it's something that comes in that I'm not familiar with. And I tell you, the first time that I met Metatron, Archangel Metatron, when he came into the room, and I had been working with Time Heals at that point, I was helping others to understand energy healing and how they can heal themselves and help others and animals with healing. And Metatron arrives, and all of a sudden it was like I was being pushed out of the room. The energy was so big, and I just stood up and I said, "Who is here? Who are you?" And it was Metatron, and he spoke to me very clearly. And he's a dear guide. I just love working with his energy, but it's a big energy. So if you have interacted with Archangel Metatron, you know what I'm talking about. You know how he just comes in with a force, and you can recognize his energy right away. Hello on YouTube to Agong. Welcome into the morning show. And Linda says, Brookie, my nephew lives and went to school in Venice. I've been to Venice Beach and it's beautiful sand. It sure is. I love that place. It's absolutely amazing. Blue says, I ran away behind the kitchen door. We lived in a very wooded place at the time. I heard them calling me. I had fallen asleep and I caused quite a panic. Yeah, that does happen sometimes, doesn't it? Sally says, Lily, our cat, stands up on her hind legs and plays with someone a lot, and it's fun to watch. It is fun to watch them. I love that. The cats that are here are very tuned in as well, because, like I said earlier, her house has so much energy. It's over 100 years old here in New Orleans, so you can imagine all the spirit beings that reside here. And one cat likes to go up and hang out with them. I see him all the time climbing up the stairs, and I've been up there, so I know that it's full of energy up in that place. And Sherry has written a movie that's in the works. It's called Angel Lady, and it's all about the reality of angels and how they truly are here with us. And I think the angels just kind of keep that place up there so warm and inviting. And Orlando likes to go up and just be there. He knows his mama spends a lot of time up there, so I'm sure he's feeling her energy. They'll be coming back in a couple of weeks, and I know these guys are like wondering where the heck are our parents? Who's this crazy lady that always comes every year and takes care of us? Bricky says it seems like the child traffickers and those who partake are not even human to be able to be part of such cruelty. Such an interesting existence in this polar world of extremes in all directions. I know, Brookie. I know. A friend of mine wrote a song about human trafficking, and I want to promote that out. It's called Maria. So I'll share a link to that if anybody wants to listen to it, because I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I want to use that as our theme for Save Someone's Child, and let's really work to get that project off the ground. I've been told by the angels to clear the first part of my calendar for next year to really work on that and to get the word out more about human trafficking. I'm going to put them in here for you to share your prayer request because it is that time. Look at that, how fast this went today. I knew this was going to be a good discussion. And let's see what we got. Sally. Um, I would for about 10 days one night having a dream of Metatron on coming and putting his head in his Merkaba. I could clearly hear his rotation around my head and it drove me crazy. Yeah, he's not a soft angel. He's loud. He gets his message across and he has a big job. And that's what I understood. That there's so much that he does for us. He brings in the crystalline grid from up above us and helps us to understand more fully what it means to connect in with the portal energy. And I love working with him. It took me a minute, Sally. It really did take me a minute to understand him more, and I had to tell him to slow down. I'm like, dude, you're too intense. I can't understand you. Because usually I can hear the angels so clearly. But when Metatron first came in, it was like, ugh! I'm like, wait, slow down so I can understand. And now we have such a beautiful relationship and interaction. And I love channeling his messages to others. Okay. Agents of the Matrix. Yeah, I get it, Deirdre. And Josie says, Ricky Puppy and Athena Kitty play with someone at the foot of the bed. I know it's my Ricky. I know it is. I know he's watching and walking by you throughout whatever is going on in your life, Josie. And I'm so happy that he does that. And thank you, Deirdre, for giving us our daily prayer. Kathleen says, my friend Alba's dog has been staring at a wall sometimes, and I believe he is picking up a spirit in his house. I believe so. When you get that stare from them, even when they look beyond you. Anybody have that happen? When they're looking and interacting with you, and then all of a sudden their eyes go like behind you. It's like, okay, who's back there? That happens a lot. Or over my head. I get that sometimes as well. So thank you, Deirdre. Prayers for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back. World peace and attention to human trafficking, and support for parents of addicted children or any family member, those who are caught up in that tragedy of being addicted to something. And Sally, thank you. Prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, and for all living in fear of another. And I thought I saw blue. Yes, I did. Prayers for Gizmo. If he is in good shape when our friend and vegetarian comes on Sunday, he will not recommend putting him to sleep. I'm having a hard time. I just believe he will be okay. Well, like I said to you yesterday, Blue, miracles still happen. I'm trusting a miracle. I'm also asking for his best and highest good. If that's to still be with us, then I trust that's what's going to happen. So we're just now leaving it up to Spirit for whatever comes through. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And Pruchetta, thank you for your prayers for me and for your cousin brother Pammy. Prayers for his good health and happiness. Prayers for my dearest, beautiful Angelic River family, and lots of love. Lots of love right back to you, Pruchetta and Pruchir. Okay, any other prayers this morning? Okay, so let's go into our hearts and lift all of these prayers that were spoken and read, and anyone else that you're holding in your heart. Yes, Blue Jean, it's a miracle to have him there, and such a delight to know that little beautiful baby. And I've asked him to stay until I get there, but it really is up to him. It's between him and his higher self. And yes, animals have a higher self, just like we do. So let's pray for the absolute best in that situation. And our Marietta. Oh, thank you, Marietta, for being here. And let's go, when we go into our hearts, go up, up, up to that higher plane with love and light and joy and so much gratitude in our hearts on this thankful, beautiful Friday. So, as my friend Sharon Stroud always said when she would preach a sermon or just in conversation, she'd say, where are we going? Higher yet. So, as you go into your heart, maybe there's some heaviness in there. Maybe there's the low vibration feelings of fear or anxiety or worry. Let's go higher yet. Let's lift beyond that. Lift beyond this earthly plane of all the the ins and outs and the contrast and the polarity and division, all of the evil that happens that we are aware of. Let's look beyond that and go to our higher selves together today. Let's lift up as a group. Just envision us all together in a big hot air balloon. And we're going up, up, up to a higher dimension. Let's go to the fifth dimension where it's love and light. And we manifest immediately. Let's manifest peace in our world. Let's manifest love and harmony among all beings. Let's manifest respect and that philosophy of do unto others the way you want to be treated. Let's manifest that foremost in our world, where humans treat humans with dignity and respect, where we can have harmony and peace and safety in our world again, where we can walk outside without having to look around or look behind us or place a shield over us. It's manifest living in this world that we can create that's full of love, where love is what everyone holds in their heart. It shines a light into the darkness, such that the darkness has to retreat. Let's work together on this. Let's work on bringing peace into our world, harmony into our world, and have a world where we can laugh again, where we can play like children and not have to be so concerned about our safety and our security. Let's lift up all of our prayers, prayers for our loved ones, human and animal. And let's just ask for the best and highest good to come with each prayer request as we lift them to the divine and we let them go. We release them from our hot air balloon and just send them out to the universe, asking our Creator, who I call God, call whatever name out you wish, and just ask that all of us receive that blessing. All of us receive a touch from the angels today, a reminder of our magnificence, a reminder of what we're here for. We're here to shine a light on each other, to hold each other's hand. Reach out to somebody, reach out your hand, and just grasp on to somebody that's here with us right now. Just hold their hand, give it a squeeze, and say, I love you. Sharing that love, sharing your smile, it brings that energy into the world and fills hearts, especially your smile. Smile at strangers. Smile at the people who are in service. Sometimes we forget them, so let's lift up those who take care of us, the cashier at the grocery store, the bankers, anybody that you come in contact with that's in a service position. Let's remember especially our servicemen and women, those who are serving our country. I'm thinking of Suzanne's son-in-law and his troop that's been deployed for a year away from their family. Let's lift up all of those who are on assignment. Let's lift up those who are out in the world every day, serving and making sure we are safe. Let's lift up our leaders in the world, asking for their hearts to be touched with compassion, with an energy of wanting peace, of ending all the conflicts, and wanting us all to have a better world to live in for us and for our children and our children's children. Let's leave a world that they can survive in, a world they can thrive in. And I send the energy of love down to our Mama Gaia, right to the very core of Gaia. Let's say to her, thank you. I love you. Thank you for providing for us. Thank you for nurturing us. Thank you for allowing us to walk on your back. And to each one that's here, I say to you, thank you. I love you. I love you immensely. You mean the world to me. And being here with you in the morning is the only way I want to start my day, is to be immersed in this love and light that comes in. So thank you for that. And it's time, it's Leo time, but it's also time to share with each other how we feel, that love we hold in our heart. And Sally, I'm just seeing your prayer for a family who lost everything in a fire this morning. Yes, praying for them to be able to have a place for shelter and to regroup and regain what's needed for them. Thank you for sharing. And thank you, Deirdre, for starting us off. And I'm going to turn on our Leo's music. Uh-oh. Did it take my music away? Okay, well, I guess I have to do it the old school way. Let me go find him so I can turn this on for us all. We gotta hear our Leo before we get out of here. Okay, well, oops. Didn't need to hear me. All right, this is gonna take me a minute. I got so used to having it on my computer and now it took it away. So, changes, changes. Things are always changing. Well, getting there. Here we go.
What happens to your skin when you soak in baking soda? Morning, Earthlings! It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go.
Come on, come on.
It's a beautiful day. If you wake up this morning,
Thank you. I love you.
So now we shuffle harmony. Ready, mama, be on the lead. Wherever it's up there, we create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling all the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath and go into a new dimension. Morning cup of full of joy of every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peace and the bud. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup of full of joy of every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peace and the bud. The daily mantra
Thank you,
is
Kathleen.
thank you, I love you, namaste.
Absolutely. We pray for a miracle for baby Haven.
Full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot, and the trust is always yours. The sun is coming up to let us put on shows. Days I think maybe all part of this game, but they can win. Love always is the winning team. And inside the dust, there is always no space in the pot. Full of love, take a spot to get the day started. Morning cup of full of joy of every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peace and the fun. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup of full of joy of every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the triple A. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peace and the fun. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Did you get your cup filled up with joy this morning? I know I did. Cheers to all. Accept, align, allow. Triple A, y'all. Thank you, Marietta, for Triple A.
Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peace and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy and flaming. Start the day on the high five, we call the triple A. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peace and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Y'all. You're so right, Kathleen. It's a great reminder, isn't it? All right. Who's gonna sing with Rio at the end of the song? Here we go. Woo! Deirdre did. Thank you, Deirdre.
Seniors on Medicare. Oops. This is your last chance to get the help.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And, oh, Blue Jean. Oh my gosh, my heart just got so happy. You go, Gizmo. You just be you. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We're just going to trust that God has this and that Gizmo understands what it's all about. And he's going to give us whatever message we need to hear before he leaves this earth plane. Thank you. We love you. Thank you, Brookie, for those words. I love you all so much. Stay in your hearts. Join us today at 1:11 p.m. for our World Peace Meditation Challenge. We'll be doing it through the 21st, leading up to International Day of Peace on September 21st. So stay in your heart and stay blessed, and I will see you then. Take good care, everyone. Bye for now.